Maverick News. The world is watching. In a universe full of ideas, we draw lightness from the dark to a place where opposites attract. Right meets left, positive touches negative, sparking an explosion of truth. Because politics makes strange bedfellows.
This is something I wanted to talk to you about in your capacity as a life coach and a spiritual healer. I have to be honest and tell you that working in the news business, even though I've been doing this for 35 years, it's a tough business because you're always exposed to tragedy day in, day out. We cover murders, we cover fires, we cover natural disasters and wars. And the past 3 months have been particularly difficult for me. Really, the last 4 years, ever since COVID started, it's like the world went crazy and it never went back to normal. It feels like we've been trying to get it back to normal, and then something even crazier happens, and then World War III starts, and then we covered Russia and Ukraine for a year and a half, and then we have this new war in the Middle East. And since that war with Hamas began back on October 7th, as part of my job, I'm forced to look at the most graphic, horrible images of war in a way, and all of us have. You know, if you're on social media, you can't miss it. It's just in your face. It's really hard to miss those images, and then they get stuck in your mind. And it's very hard for me to sleep at night, to be honest, Karen. And like I said, last month, I had to take a month off from Strange Bedfellows, and from the news in general as much as I could outside of working. You know, I have to do it for my job. But I wanted to ask you, because I'm sure everybody in the audience out there feels me on this, and you're probably having trouble sleeping at night too. Do you have any tips for us on how to clear those kinds of negative images and thoughts from our minds so that we don't lose our minds?
Yeah, great question. I do not have any trouble sleeping anymore. I used to have narcolepsy where you're awake every hour of the night, just about, and I don't have it anymore, which is amazing. So I sleep incredibly well. But part of what I do, so at the core, this is what I believe, at the core of every person is an infinite eternal being. It's the thing that took one sex cell from your mom and one sex cell from your dad and made trillions of differentiated cells. It's the consciousness that takes an acorn and creates a giant tree. It's the consciousness that creates connection between trees, where the mother tree knows which ones are her baby trees, right? There's some intelligence that's going on. And I know that intelligence is within all of us. And it is eternal. It is infinite. And I have died in my life, in this body, twice that I remember. And in both times that I died, the feeling of going towards death was the feeling of total acceptance, totally being love, pure light, welcoming, inviting, and choice. And the choice was always there. Did I want to live or did I want to die? I always chose to live, and hence I'm still here. But with knowing that, I know the goodness of both sides of everything. There's every being is eternal and infinite. Every being, when they die, goes into that place of love and of totally being accepted, totally being understood, known, appreciated, adored. So that's how I have experienced it. And that's how I look at whatever's happening. So it doesn't bother me. I have desires. I want peace. I want kindness. I want people to heal. But it doesn't hurt me like it used to. It used to, I used to want to kill myself when I would see stuff like this. Mm-hmm. And now, for me now, I just feel the love I just feel love for the whole situation. But what I also do is before I would go to bed, two things. One is I write out appreciation, and it can be something so simple like appreciation of the fact that my heart beat all day, that my lungs breathed me all day, that my heart and my lungs will breathe me and beat for me while I'm asleep. Like, isn't that considerate? Isn't that thoughtful of my body? That's so amazing, right? So I think of something simple, could be a tree, how it has its roots underneath the ground, and then the tree branches. It's a mirror. It's a mirror image, and trees have microbiome. There's microbiome in the soil, and then there's microbiome on the tree, and then there's microbiome in the atmosphere. And like this kind of wisdom about nature is so thrilling to me. So I could just think of that, and I'm in a state of appreciation. And then what I think of, and now this might sound crazy, but I think of, like, if we're talking about the Middle East, I think of the Middle Ease. The Middle East, for me, is where children are in the street playing. Trees are growing. Buildings look beautiful. People are walking arm in arm. Maybe somebody from a different culture with another person of a different culture, smiling, talking, laughing. I see community. I see playing. I see health. I see beauty. I see what really the people in that area are mostly wanting on some level.
Right. So what you're doing there, correct me if I'm wrong, you're visualizing the world you want to see.
Yes. I visualize it, and not just visualize it. I hear it. I can hear the kids laughing. I can hear the people appreciating each other from different sides. I can hear the sound of running water. I can hear the sound of, good conversation, and I see the heads nodding. I smell the sense of food being cooked that smells good and healthy. And, I see all this. I get it from every sense, and I get it emotionally. So it's not just a vision. It has some communication from my heart, where my heart feels full of love. I don't actually visualize until my heart feels full of love, which is why I do that appreciation first.
That's
And then,
fascinating.
and then
Keep
when
going. Tell me more.
well, the heart actually has more nerves going from the heart to the brain than the brain to the heart. The heart is meant to be the pilot of our bodies. The heart is the leader of every other part of the body. In fact, I have a book that has pictures of when a baby is being formed in utero, and cross sections where you can actually see the baby and see how it's being formed. At the beginning, when it's just a very little fetus, the heart is about 2/3 the size. Like, if the fetus is probably not this big, but let's say it's this big in the picture, the heart is like that big. It basically takes up everything. It comes before the brain is even formed. And it is, the heart to me is where our wisdom comes from. I keep my heart full of love, and so my heart is a receiver. The love makes it able to receive the wisdom from that part of me that took that one cell from my mom and one cell from my dad and gave me trillions of cells. That intelligence, I can feel it most acutely and most profoundly in my heart, because I have focus on my heart. I make sure my heart is open. And then what happens is the heart communicates it with the brain. The brain then gets whatever that wisdom is that the spirit has given me. And then the brain communicates it with my body, which makes my life effortless. And it makes my life easy. And it makes my life full of love. And it makes my body healthier, crazily healthier. Everything has improved in my body. Everything. I mean, it's just, I don't have narcolepsy anymore. I used to have depleted adrenals. I don't. I used to have a thyroid that was off. It's completely balanced. I used to need glasses to read. I don't. I used to have hair thinning. I don't. It's all thick again. I used to have chronic pain. Now I have chronic pleasure. I mean, it's just like, it's off the charts, the things that have changed. And it all started with my heart and opening up my heart and connecting with my spirit on a deep level and on a consistent level.
That is amazing. Absolutely amazing. I'm going to try that.
Yeah.
I'm definitely I'm going to take your good advice and give it a go. Anything to get those images out of my head at the end of the day.
This has been a Maverick Multimedia production.